On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains.
Coming to you straight from San Diego, California. Let's welcome our host, April Mahoney.
All right.
Now it'll be better.
Okay.
Oh, I see recording.
I see it's recording too. Brains, you better get ready if you ain't ready, okay? We have Tory Scroggins here on the edge with us, okay? He's an actor. He's a model. He's a great person. His story is so compelling and compassionate. And he's also a gender bender. Oh, yes. And we're going to ask him what that looks like and feels like. Okay, and a whole bunch of other great stuff here. So if you feeling any kind of way in your feelings, if this ain't the show for you, I totally understand. But we about to get in, okay? That's what we do here on the edge, and I'm so excited to have him because it is really, really a gift to have someone of his caliber here on our show. Brains, help me welcome Tory Scroggins. Hey, baby.
Hey, Brains. Hey, April. Thank you again for having me. I've been really excited waiting to do this.
Well, I've been waiting to get it done, okay? So, again, I want you to start at the beginning. Tell me where you found your voice. How did you find the arts?
The arts found me really, from as long as I can remember, I've been interested in arts, painting, drawing, dancing, singing. It was something that I was always drawn to. And somehow deep down inside, I always knew that it would be what would save me from my environment.
Tell us a little bit about that environment, because, it's very difficult to accept yourself. Forget the outside noise when you're living inside of a body that doesn't feel very sure of himself. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a family and in a society in general, a community that has very definite ideas about masculinity and gender roles and things like that. And I never fit into any of those ideas. And so that was difficult for me growing up. But learning how to maneuver through all of that and find myself outside of all of that, I realized in hindsight that experience gave me the strength to be the person that I am today, which is completely unapologetic about who I am. And something that has always stuck with me, something one of my mentors told me one day, is that this is your world, walk comfortably in it. And that was life-changing for me because I realized this is my world as much as it's anybody else's world. And I have a right to exist and to shine and to excel and to grow and evolve or whatever, and to love and to laugh.
Well, that takes a lot, okay? That takes a lot. So when you come to this realization of this is the creative that I am, this is who I am going to be, tell us some of the roles that you've been able to play and some of the great, people that you've worked with in your career.
Well, can you reword that question?
All right. What has really propelled you to do the work that you do now? How did you get from where you were feeling those emotions of lower self-esteem or self-worth and propel you into where you are now and some of the great works that you've done in the process?
Okay. Well, growing up with the low self-esteem and the insecurities that I had forced me to kind of be more of a fantasist, I guess, if that's a word. I learned to live inside of my head a lot and create my own.
Rebellious, that's what you was.
Yeah.
Mannish.
So I learned that in order for me to be successful in the world, I had to find a way to come out of my shell and to not worry about what other people might think of me, and to just go ahead and take a chance on myself. And if the answer is going to be no, the answer is going to be no. But I found 9 times out of 10, the answer was usually yes, because I was bold enough to put myself out there, and most people won't even show up.
So tell us some of the fabulous faces that you beat in your career, because you were an astounding makeup artist and you are a transformationer. Yes, tell us who you've worked with and what you've done.
Yeah, I have been very, very fortunate. From my original passion was photography, which led me into doing makeup. And one day when I decided I wanted to pursue makeup artistry as a career, I became an assistant to a really well-known makeup artist named Rudy Calvo. And I would assist him on music videos and things like that. And I would use the law of intention going in. And I would always say, because, you know, as an assistant, I would be doing makeup for dancers or extras. And, but I would say, I'm going to do this extras makeup so well that if ever Rudy's not available, they will remember me, you know, when they need a makeup artist. And sure enough, I booked my first like real professional job with Queen Latifah for Harper's Bazaar magazine.
I love her. She's so kind.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's so kind.
Awesome. And then I also was assistant to Eric Farrell, who is an amazing makeup artist. So just through working with them mostly, I started getting a lot of jobs and clients. And I was working with Usher, Brandy, Destiny's Child. When they put out their first album, I worked with them a lot. And I, at the age of 21, went on tour to do Janet Jackson's makeup.
Well, you know, we love JJ.
Yes.
But you propelled and found acting yourself. You got bit by the acting bug.
Yes.
What's on you?
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been acting all my life.
Right. But I hope you ain't been acting a fool.
You know, the earlier part of my life trying to act like what I thought other people needed me to be.
What?
And once I broke free of that, I realized I was a great actor.
Wow, that is great. So you played Othello. Who does that but a brain? Okay. Just to read it and enact it is so bold, it's so liberating, it's so sexy. Tell us about that experience.
That was a really amazing experience because I'd never done Shakespeare before, but as a Black actor, it's a dream come true to play Othello. It's like on every Black actor's bucket list, basically. And I remember being in a class and one of my professors had me do a scene from Othello. And afterwards, he came up to me after class and he said, "You're gonna play Othello one day, mark my words." And sure enough, it happened. And it was just one of the greatest experiences for me because it felt like, you know, it feels good as an actor to know that you're challenging yourself and doing something that's outside of your comfort zone. And Shakespeare is like learning a whole different language.
It is.
You're not only learning the lines, you have to translate what the lines mean and be able to, through your emotion and your physicality and whatnot, make the audience understand it and feel it. And so to have people like crying at the end of shows was a really big confirmation for me because like if they're crying, they obviously understood what was going on. Absolutely. Which makes a successful Shakespeare production.
Well, you playing something else too. You play the role of a woman. Yikes. Okay. And you do it well. Yes, you do, Devo. So, what did your mama say when she found out that her son was dressing up as a woman? What did your father say? You know, because that's a shocker.
Yeah, well, my mom found out through her friends on Facebook because some of her friends follow or stalk me on Facebook.
Let me tell you something. Hold up. You're a phenomenon, okay?
Thank you.
Like, really, the show Pose?
Yes.
I love it, okay? And I'm putting a shout out. You know, I
Yeah.
know Hollywood people because you are a great actor and you transform like nobody's business. But I would be kind of shocked too if I found out that my son, was cross-dressing as a woman on Facebook. If we had a conversation somewhere, you know, fine. But that's pretty shocking. Okay, so tell me, what did the rest of the family, how did they respond?
Well, you know, like my family very much understands that I'm going to do me unapologetically 100% all the time.
Yikes!
And, uh, they
Y'all know this, right? That's right.
Yeah, they're very, very loving and supportive of me. But if ever there's something like in my own personal life they don't agree with, they know to keep it to themselves. You know, unless it's, you know,
That's
dangerous.
beautiful because they respect your boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. And they know that, you know, I'm a grown man and I'm not going to be
Right.
I'm not going to live my life for other people.
Okay. Now, again, you said that you was limitless. You said my questions was off limits.
Yeah.
Okay. So sexual preference is just how you bump your ugly.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's how you get out, get your freak on.
Yeah.
But do you live the life also of a woman as a cross-dresser? Is it something you do just in drag? You know, because my brains want to know. I mean, we don't have to go into the intimacy part of it unless you want to. But for the most part, how do you transform yourself? How do you feel when you put on some panties? I don't know another way to say it.
I never wear panties. But you know, it's funny. I decided long ago that I was not going to be bound by society standards and ideas of what gender roles are or should be. And once I came to that realization, because we're all born masculine and feminine, but it opened my whole world up. And, you know, growing up, I was always afraid of being noticed as being effeminate as a boy, you know, because it's very unacceptable, especially in the Black communities. People have an expectation of, you know, how masculine you're supposed to be. And for some strange reason, femininity is associated with weakness, when we all know women are way more stronger than men ever will be.
Well,
And,
you have to tell me, I'll drink to that.
Amen. Very first time though I ever dressed up as a woman, I realized there is an extreme power in femininity, like nothing I've ever experienced before. And you know, just in the presence of femininity, you know, you can stop traffic, you can cause traffic accidents.
Cause divorce,
Yeah.
change the world, change the country.
Yeah. And it started out originally as just like an experiment, just playing in makeup, taking some pictures. Through that, I got cast in a play. Somebody saw my pictures on Facebook. I got cast in a play to play a transvestite prostitute. And then through the promotional pictures from that play, I got called by a casting director to play a trans prisoner in a Netflix film. And and then I got a lot of modeling jobs and offers. So that's how it really became a thing for me. I'm not a transgender person. I'm not a drag queen either because I'm not really a performer or I don't have an act. I consider drag queens to be true artists with a craft and a skill. And I'm not a transsexual or I don't know. I can't think of all the names right now.
You're not a label, that's for damn sure.
No, I don't wear any labels.
Right. Someone told me on one of my shows, though, they said that your sexuality is what's between your legs, but your gender is what's between your ears.
Absolutely.
And there's always a diamond in the rough, you know, and it's hard to identify. It's hard for, you know, a father to expect something or a mother to expect something from your child, and it's not what you got, but you got to embrace what you have. You got to love the totality of that person. You have to love their heart. And I love your heart. I think you are absolutely awesome sauce. And thank you for being so vulnerable, because I just got a few more questions. And then before we close, but I want to talk to you a little bit about love, finding love and acceptance of differences, people's differences, no matter what they are. If they're disabled, people fall in love all the time. It doesn't have to be sexual orientation. They fall in love with people with lesser means. What does that look like in your world? What does that look like to you?
Well, my thoughts on love is that love is what we are. We are born as love, and we are born to love and to be loved. And I don't feel like, you know, when I hear people talk about looking for love or finding love, you know, you can share your love and you can share in other people's love, but love is already what we are. I don't need to look for love, or, you know, and that was something that was life-changing for me too, is to realize that learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all.
Okay, go on now. Break out in the song, okay? Break out in the song.
But I really believe that.
Well, again, you can conceive what you believe, and you are a manifester. I'm a manifester. I understand how that works. But just like you can manifest some good, you can manifest some drama. So have you had some trials and tribulations through all of this? Has somebody ever mistaken you for a woman or something that you weren't? Have you ever, I mean, this, some strange stuff could happen in the world.
Yeah, you know, but I didn't have, I mean, I have had people mistake me for a woman. Like, they won't scroll thoroughly through the social media. They'll just see a picture or two, and then they'll start messaging you. And, like, you know, they might be a little shocked. But I feel like if they get upset, they're upset with themselves. They're not upset with me, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like we are in a different time now, and most people kind of don't care.
No, they really don't. They don't. You know what? Because it's a part of the distraction. You're absolutely right. And that's what they want to do. They want to keep us twisted with some old trickery. I tell y'all, that's my word, some trickery. All the time about this, believe that, and all this. You believe what you see. You can hear, touch, taste, all of that. Tell us what's on the horizon for you, Tory. What are you doing? What's the upcoming stuff?
On the horizon, well, I have a small cameo feature in the film All Day and All Night, which is going to be on Netflix, hopefully sometime this year. And I also just wrapped a sci-fi fantasy film called Faestrom, which is now in post-production, being edited and all that. And you guys can follow the journey of that film on Facebook at Faestrom the Movie, and Instagram as well. Also follow me at Tory Scroggins on Instagram. Basically right now, normally I do back-to-back shows, but I've been trying to slow down lately so that, you know, I'm not diminishing the quality of my work.
Right.
Because I have people that will come to see every show that I do, and I can't have them coming to see a show every other month and then, you know, it's crap.
Right. Well, I want to come and see you.
I would love.
You're not too far from me, and thank you, baby, you know, from the bottom of my socks, because my heart just isn't deep enough.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so it's been a tender moment, and Brains, I hope you learned something, you know, and set your judgment outside of something else and poured you some good love in your cup, okay, of wisdom, of kindness. Follow Tory Scroggins on all of his social media platforms. I have it down at the bottom. I've got some great pictures, and you know what? We came up with a great idea, okay? I'm gonna run something by him offline. He'll be back real soon, okay? Bye-bye, baby. Thank you so much again for being on the edge.
Thank you. Bye, Brains.